GBI, Guaranteed Basic Income, otherwise known as ongoing monthly checks for the low income. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to talk about GBI, otherwise referred to as Guaranteed Basic Income, also known as ongoing monthly checks, specifically focused on the low income that are no strings attached, and why these types of payments are so incredibly popular and likely going to be mainstream right here in the United States. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. However, really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching the latest details hitting the wire, doing the research and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay posted on what's actually going on out there, and anything popping up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of. So again, I'm here for you every single day, no matter what. That's my promise, and as always, I'm sticking to it. So again, please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and talk about GBI, Guaranteed Basic Income, ongoing monthly checks that are no strings attached for millions and millions of low-income Americans, and why these programs are so incredibly popular. Now, here's what's interesting about this. As of right now, there are well over 100 Guaranteed Basic Income programs currently going on right here, right now, across the entire United States, sending out no strings attached checks to low-income Americans all across the country. Sounds pretty nice, right? Yeah, it is. So let me talk about the details of this, because this is a relatively new concept. Now, obviously, this type of idea has been around for a very long time, just like Universal Basic Income, UBI, that has also been around for a very long time. However, just over the last couple years here, these two types of programs, UBI, Universal Basic Income, and GBI, Guaranteed Basic Income, have gained a lot of popularity, and we are seeing these popping up in the headlines a lot. A lot more people are talking about them, and believe it or not, there are standalone bills in Congress where some lawmakers wants to institute these types of programs all across the entire country. So I've talked about UBI, Universal Basic Income, in a separate dedicated video, so I'm not going to spend much time at all talking about that, but I do want to talk really quickly about the comparisons of these two types of programs, because there's a huge difference. Even though these programs are very, very similar, there's a key difference between them. So let me break that down really fast here. Universal Basic Income, ongoing monthly checks, no strings attached for literally everybody, regardless of age, regardless of income, regardless of anything like that. If somebody's there, they're getting a check, okay? That is Universal Basic Income. However, Guaranteed Basic Income, same exact concept. However, somebody that would be eligible for it would strictly be low income or identified groups of people. So that is the difference. Universal Basic Income is like the name implies, universal for literally everybody. Not that great of a concept, okay? It works, okay? It would be interesting, but again, not the best approach. However, Guaranteed Basic Income, GBI, is a highly focused program that would send out checks to a certain group of people or a certain segment of people that have incomes below certain thresholds. Let me give you a quick example. Think of the stimulus checks that we got in early 2020, late 2020, early 2021. That was kind of like a one-time check of a Guaranteed Basic Income program. Now, obviously, a Guaranteed Basic Income program, a real one of these programs, would be ongoing monthly checks for a specified period of time. Maybe it's 6 months. Maybe it's 12 months. Maybe it's 24, 36. Maybe it's 60 months, as in 5 years, right? Maybe one of these are the case, but those checks that we got were like a one-time check of a Guaranteed Basic Income program. So basically what it came down to is lawmakers laid out the parameters, as in these people will get a check if your income is below a certain threshold, if you're not claimed as an adult dependent, all kinds of things like this, and then you get a check, right? So that's basically what a Guaranteed Basic Income program is. If that would have been a Universal Basic Income program, it essentially would have been like a check for everybody, regardless of any circumstances. Literally, just everybody gets a check, okay? So that was kind of like a quick example there, okay? However, now obviously those checks did not go on months after months after months for years at a time, but if they would have, that would have been a very good example of a Guaranteed Basic Income program. Let me give you another quick example. Remember back in the second half of 2021, right? The second half, July through December of 2021, 38 million households got ongoing monthly checks. The average check was about $422 a month. Why? It was the advanced child tax credit payments. That was a perfect example of a guaranteed basic income program. Lawmakers laid out, identified exactly who would be eligible for these ongoing monthly checks. They started distributing them every single month. On the 15th of every single month, July through December 2021, those checks arrived for about 38 million households. That's a perfect example of a guaranteed basic income program. Anyway, long story short, here's what it comes down to. We've been seeing a lot of this talk out there about these guaranteed basic income programs. Sometimes they just refer to it as basic income programs. Maybe you've seen that before, but that's what they're referring to. Now, we've also seen universal basic income popping up as well. Now, again, like I've talked about, it's a cool concept, but realistically, it is not that feasible. To send out a check for everybody just doesn't really, it's not really going to do the what it needs to be doing, what it needs to do, right? It would help a little bit. It would help out a lot of people, but it'd be ultimately sending checks to people that don't really need the money. That's why guaranteed basic income or basic income programs are so incredibly powerful, because it focuses that money directly to the people that actually need it, lower income, fixed income people, whoever they identify. But that is the purpose behind guaranteed basic income programs, is they identify exactly who needs the money, and then they start sending that out. So here's what's interesting about it as well. Like I mentioned, there are lawmakers currently in Congress right here, right now, today, who want to establish a nationwide guaranteed basic income program. Now, again, this is not the first time we've heard about this. We've heard this in many other iterations. We've heard this many times here over the last several years, but there are bills currently in Congress where they want to implement these. Now, here's what else is interesting about it. They want to set up these little pilot programs, as in little test programs all across the country, these guaranteed basic income programs, to test out, hey, how do these things work? What happens to the beneficiaries? How do they spend the money? What goes on with their livelihoods? As in, is their living environment improved? Is their medical environment improved? All kinds of things like this. So they look at all these different studies as far as the beneficiaries of current guaranteed basic income programs right here, right now, and they assess what's going on with the beneficiaries. Are they better off financially? Are they, what is the detail about them? They continue to find time and time and time again from all of these reports and the studies and the surveys and everything that's going on out there, they continue to find that all of the beneficiaries, or at least a huge percentage of them, are way, way better off 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months after these studies start, that the livelihoods of these individuals that are receiving ongoing monthly checks with no strings attached as a result of a guaranteed basic income program are dramatically improved. Okay, well, what does that show us? It clearly gives us the evidence right there that these programs, they help, right? And again, like I said, the studies, I've gone through many of the studies here on the channel. There's a lot of studies that I haven't even shared with you, but I've read a lot of the details of these studies, and they continue to find huge percentages. Not 100%, but like mid 80% range of the people that get these checks are way better off a short time later. It's not even that long later, a few months. 5 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months later, the livelihoods of these individuals are improved dramatically when they are enrolled in these programs. So the whole consensus behind establishing an ongoing guaranteed basic income program here in the United States as a nationwide program, rather than one that is established on the state level, the county level, the city level, a small locality level like that, like what they're doing right now. A nationwide program would be incredibly helpful and help out a ton of people in a huge way here across the country for virtually everybody, and it'd be administered by this, not Social Security, by the federal government as well, okay? So anyway, pretty interesting stuff out there, but this is the classic definition of a guaranteed basic income program, and they continue to find that these are very powerful. Now, let me talk really quickly here about why many people, very highly influential and very powerful people out there, that are suggesting it is inevitable that here in this country, we will likely have some type of guaranteed basic income, some type of basic income, some type of ongoing recurring monthly checks for many people. Here's why. I've talked about it before. I'm going to say it again right now. AI. What's AI? Artificial intelligence. In other words, robots, right? Here's what's happening. So many things are being automated right now. So many different things are being taken over by automation and super smart computers and robots that a lot of jobs in this country are going to be lost and or replaced by robots. Why would they do that? Why would they replace humans with robots? Well, here's why. Do you need to pay a robot? No, you don't really need to pay a robot. Can a robot work 24/7, 365? Yup. Can a human? No, unfortunately, a human cannot work 24/7, 365, right? So all the advantages behind this is that, a lot of these companies out there, a lot of the large corporations and things like this, they're thinking, why would we have humans do this work when we can just have a robot do it in seconds, like instantly, literally, they can do it instantly. They can complete all these tasks. We don't have to pay them. They can work 24/7, 365. We don't need to sit here and tell them what to do all the time. We can just program them to tell them what to do. It's easy, right? So that's what these corporations are thinking, and that's what they're looking at, is that a lot of jobs, a lot of these sectors, huge percentages of people within certain sectors, according to the statistics that I've seen out there, about 2/3, about 66% of some people, as in some positions in different sectors, will be completely replaced by robots. In other words, let's say you have 100%, right? You have 100 people in a certain job, right? If that certain industry can be replaced by robots, according to the statistics here, 66% of the people of the 100 would be replaced by robots. Therefore, you only need about 33 to 34 people to actually continue running the show, and the rest will be done by robots. So again, do you think that's going to disrupt our economy here in this country? Yeah, it's going to disrupt things in a big way, right? And this is not something like it's going to be optional, like, oh, don't worry, this isn't coming. It's already here. This is already happening, okay? It's just a matter of scaling this bigger and bigger, and that's exactly what they're doing because they continue to see the benefits of having robots over humans. So again, I'm just saying, this is what I'm reading out there. This is something that's happening right here and now. Who thought the takeover of the machine? Well, it's happening. This is the reality of what's going on. And realistically, as these things get smarter and more sophisticated, well, it's only going to get more intense. So anyway, guaranteed basic income and why many highly influential people, very powerful people are suggesting this is where the world is going. This is where this country is going because as all of these workers are starting to be replaced by robots and AI and very smart technology, what are we going to do? These people need to lean back on something, right? So anyway, that's what they're suggesting is that we're going to have to establish something like this to make sure that people have something to lean back on in the event that they're completely replaced by robots. Anyway, this is a reality, but I want to talk about guaranteed basic income, what this program is, the differences between guaranteed basic income and universal basic income, as well as why many people are suggesting guaranteed basic income is very likely here in this country at some point. Anyway, I'll keep you posted as I get more details. I hope this helps you out. Again, very interesting stuff out there that's going on, but again, I'm going to continue watching this because there are many different things that are happening right now. It is a super busy time. Things are changing rapidly, and again, I want to make sure that you're staying updated with all this information and how it may impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account. So again, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands upon thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below as well, and I'll catch you again later.